Okay, are you ready to start making some chains? All right, let's go. So first we're going to get into position 1. So again, we put our finger underneath the yarn, wrap the lower fingers around it to tension it, and then we start holding our slip knot. Okay? Now we're ready to go. So some basics real quick. First, you'll see that this hook has a very tapered head. That's what this part is. See how it's skinny up top and larger here at the shaft. That makes it a lot easier to get into stitches, so it's a great hook for beginners. However, you have to make sure that when you're making loops that you push your loops all the way up to this solid diameter of the shaft, okay? Because that's how your loops are all going to be the same size, all right? If you start only pushing them up to here, you're gonna have little loops, and it's gonna be very tight and hard to get into, okay? And this will make more sense as we start using your chain, okay? But for now, just remember that we got to push our loops all the way up to here, okay? All right, so I'm in position 1. I got my finger right here on the hook on the loop so that it doesn't twist. And what I want to do is the yarn always comes up and over, okay? Then what I want to do is I want to pull the yarn, and you'll see the hook right here is looking right at me, okay? It's looking right at me. So we want to keep it right there just until we get to the loop, okay? And then when we get to the loop, that's when we twist our hook so that it's pointing down or towards the slip knot, okay? And that's going to give us the most space to get our hook through. And we just pull it right through, okay? And then you just keep doing that for as long as you need your chain to be, okay? Some patterns will give you a chain length, some will give you a number of chains, and sometimes we're just going to do this until we get our groove on. All right, so again, you know, as you continue to make chains, make sure you're moving up these fingers because you want them to be as close to the hook as possible, okay? Remember, you know, crocheting is just one piece of string, okay? So you have to figure out what you can pull on and what you can hold so that the right loop either gets bigger or smaller depending on what you need, okay? That's one of the biggest things with new crocheters is they pull and they make things tight, and then it's really hard to get into, okay? See how I pulled that? It got really, 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 really tight. You can barely even see it now, okay? So just kind of, you know, leave them loose. Get a bigger hook if they're not big enough, okay? And you can see sometimes, I mean, even I do it differently. Sometimes I'll wrap the yarn with my left hand and pull it through, okay? Sometimes I'll use my right hand to move the hook around. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. Whatever works, okay? So just practice doing this until it feels comfortable, okay? Till it's not a struggle. Don't worry about the size of your chains right away. Honestly, consistency is not going to come until you don't have to think about this motion anymore, okay? So just right now, concentrate on the motion of picking up that yarn and pulling it through, okay? Picking up that yarn and pulling it through.